Yo, what is up guys? And today I'm gonna teach ya how to make spaghetti and meatballs with homemade tomato sauce and fresh spaghetti pasta dough. So first step you're gonna wanna do is take the tomatoes and cut a small little X, as you can see I'm doing, in the one part of the tomato. Basically what this is gonna do is whenever you go to boil the tomatoes, after they're done boiling, you're gonna put them in an ice bath, and then that little X you're making in the cut of the tomato will allow you to easily remove all the skin off of that tomato before you take the seeds out and cut them. So yeah, do that, and make sure also to wash the tomatoes too before you do any further. And I'll show you guys the next step, man. Gonna get ya. Alright guys, next step. Once you have done that with your tomatoes, just set them to the side. And you might as well chop up your shallot a while. I used about 3 to 4 shallots for this recipe for the tomato sauce. Just get them ready to go along with some garlic mince up. That way it's ready to go on hand, and then you can set it to the side. You won't need that right away. As you can see here, I'm cutting little slivers into the shallot, similar to how you kind of dice an onion, but the shallot's smaller, so it's a little different. And then just chop it up finely. Once you have diced the shallot, you're going to want to give it a rough or fine chop because you want it to be super fine, because you don't want big chunks of shallots in the sauce. But it's going to get blended afterward anyway in a food processor or blender, so it won't matter. Gonna blend ya! Alright guys, next step. Once you have set that to the side, you're gonna, after you've washed and cut the excess into your tomatoes, you're gonna put them in some very boiling water for about a few seconds. And basically all you're looking for is for the tomato peel to be coming off the tomato. That's what you're shooting for. Now you want the water to be boiling before you put it in to the water, otherwise it's not going to do crap. But as you can see, I already have my water hot enough before I put them in, and that's what you want. Just leave them in for about 20 to 30 seconds, or at least until the peel is starting to look like it's ready to come off, and then take them out and put them in an ice bath. Ice baby, gonna ice ya. Alright guys, next step. As you can see, I'm getting ready to peel the tomatoes. Gonna peel ya. Don't mind me here, I'm looking like a stud. Get peeling, boy. You gotta get all that goddamn tomato peel off of there. You don't want any tomato peels in your tomatoes. If I get you having to peel on your tomatoes, I'm gonna get ya. Oh, buddy. And basically just please repeat this procedure until I tell you so. Oh, yes. And I'm not gonna show you me peeling every single tomato, just this one. Otherwise the video will be 20 hours long. Oh, next step, I'ma show ya. Alright guys, next step. Once you peel off the skin off of each tomato, you're gonna cut them in half. And I'll show you guys the procedure for how to seed out the core of the tomatoes, because you can't have any of those seeds up in there. So basically just cut them like I'm doing here. Depending on how thick your tomato is, you're probably going to want a pretty sharp knife. But don't be like me and not sharpen your knife for a day. But I just sharpened it after this video. Gonna sharpen ya. And yeah, basically just chop them up. I'm not going to show the whole part of this because, yeah, I'm not trying to spend 10 hours on one part. So, I'm going to show ya. Alright guys, so basically in order to see out these tomatoes, I just kind of squeeze out the core by hand. I just kind of make a little cut. You can do it with the knife too, with a paring knife, but I like to do it by hand because I feel like it's much faster and much easier. Now I'm using gloves for this because personally tomatoes can get really messy to work with. Now the product is not ready to eat food. It's not cooked yet, so you don't need gloves technically, but it makes your lives a little easier. So if you want to be like me, get a pair of gloves on. It'll save and make your life 10 times easier, because when your hands get too dirty, you can just take them right off again and then keep peeling the seeds out. Next step. Alright guys, next step. Once all your tomatoes are ready to go and they're all seeded and cut and everything, you're going to take a large saucepan and you're going to put the garlic and the shallot mixture in it, or if you're using onion, and you're gonna heat that up with a little bit of olive oil, a little drizzle, and just let it kind of sweat and get nice and tender in the pan before adding the rest. Just a couple minutes worth, about 3 to 4 minutes, until it's more golden, and then you're gonna add the tomatoes and whatever rest of the recipe you're using. Just a little more olive oil, a little more olive oil, and a little more olive oil. Gonna drizzle ya. Alright guys, next step. Once your garlic and onion or shallots have been tenderized enough and sweated long enough, you're gonna add your tomatoes. And basically just turn it on lowish kind of heat. And let that simmer for about an hour, and it should be good afterwards. After it's done, sitting on there cooking for an hour, we're gonna blend it, and then you got tomato sauce. Now for my sauce, I added some fresh basil. You gotta have basil. If you don't have basil, what are you doing? Yeah. And I also add some fresh oregano. Yeah, buddy. And some fresh thyme, even a little slab of fresh parsley, but you don't really need that much parsley. Thyme, basil, and oregano are the key staple herbs to a great tomato sauce. So just add that in, and gonna teach ya. Alright guys, next step. Make your pasta dough. Now pasta dough is composed of eggs, flour, semolina flour, salt, and olive oil. That's all it is. That's all in pasta dough. Now, personally, I used the mixer this time because I'm not trying to spend all day making spaghetti, because I already made my tomato sauce from scratch, which is understandable. So, if you're just doing a single batch, you can knead the dough by hand if you want. There's videos and there's a way that they'll show you how to do it by hand, which is probably more consistent, but for time's sake being, I'm just trying to get it done in a pinch, so that's why I'm using the mixer. So, and I'm also making a double batch for this, so that's why I use the mixer, because if I was trying to mix all this by hand, doubling the recipe, it would take me at least 20 minutes to get done. And then I'd have to roll it out, and yeah. But anyways, you guys get what I'm saying, so I'll show you the next step. Gonna mix ya. Alright guys, next step. You're gonna run the pasta dough through the mixer. Now some people will tell you it has to be longer than this, but me personally, I was just trying to get this shit done, and I didn't want to spend 10 hours making pasta dough, so yeah. But you basically just run it through this mixer, and yeah, that's that. So next step. Alright guys, so once your pasta is done forming, your spaghetti should look something like this. Now, you'll be able to tell if it's good. As long as the dough is nice and it's not breaking or anything, it should be good. I'll show you guys next step. Also, you're going to want to salt the water when you boil it to throw the pasta in. Fresh pasta only takes about 3 minutes to cook. It takes a lot less long than pasta from the box. Also, in order to, if you want to make sure that it doesn't all stick together, all you have to do, you don't have to dry it. It's possible. You can if you want to, but all you have to do is just stir it with like a spatula and mix it while it's boiling in the water, and basically it'll all break apart together, and that way your pasta dough and noodles will not stick together. Alright guys, next step. Take your tomato mixture that was cooking up, put it in a food processor and blend it. Gonna blend ya. What's up guys, and today we made some fresh spaghetti and meatballs with fresh pasta made from scratch. And fresh tomato sauce. Gonna teach ya.